Good morning, everybody. It is Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's video, we're going to be going over these wild storms again. And these are looking to bring an increased risk for severe weather. So not only will we be talking about hefty snowfall moving in, but also increased risks for severe weather starting in the plains and possibly continuing through the mid-Atlantic. And then we will definitely be talking about maybe some chances for freezing rain. So first of all, as you can see, not really too much going on. We do have some few isolated thunderstorms going on down here near Texas, so we could have a few severe thunderstorms down here going near the Texas area. And then up here, back up to the north, we do have some pretty decent snowfall ongoing. Not really looking like it's very heavy, but definitely still some decent snow ongoing. So not really much going on for the United States, just more isolated small storms than they are widespread storms. But as we continue to take this forward, as you can see, that storm will increase a little bit, and this will drop a lot of snowfall across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And this will continue to head into New England, so this will definitely be one system that we do need to watch, especially as it head into the Great Lakes. And then we'll be talking more heavy snow after that across portions here of the Great Lakes, which will likely result in some pretty good pretty good snowfall and things like that. And just look at what develops, guys. We see this kind of squall line develop from Texas all the way up into southern Indiana. And to get a slightly better view about where we're going to go ahead and change our regions, we're just going to do the Ohio Valley. And I kind of have to head back to where I was because sometimes this thing gets a little bit glitchy. But there you go. As you can see, the squall line heading from southern Indiana all the way back down in the Texas. So this will be something that we do need to be watching. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of this squall line, including the northern and southern parts of it, had a damaging wind threat, had a tornado threat, and as well as a hail threat. I don't know if there will be as much as a tornado threat with it, because usually when you're talking a big line, usually you're talking more of a damaging straight line wind threat than you are talking a tornado threat, because tornadoes occur more with individual supercells. But I still think there could be a tornado threat in play, because there could be individual supercells included in the squall line of storms. So this will be something that we do need to keep an eye on. That's why I did say there will be an increased risk for severe weather. And it also sounds like some of the squall line could even head all the way up into central Indiana, which is certainly a possibility too as well. So we're definitely gonna have to watch for a very long squall line to move through those areas, but we're gonna go back to where we were so we can give you guys a better view of the United States. And as you can see, as you can see, after that squall line passes, we will start to see maybe some individual supercells start to move through. Because you see, after that squall line moves out, we might see another squall line develop, which is certainly a possibility. This one doesn't look as crazy as the last one though, because this one doesn't head all the way up into northern or southern Indiana. But I do think a second squall line heading from Mississippi all the way up into southern Indiana will be a possibility again. And then it sounds like we will start to see some individual supercells after that. So that is definitely going to be a decent severe weather threat right there. And then after that system finally heads out, we start to see another storm system that looks like it will bring the same threat, which will be a squall line of storms heading from north to east. So that will or heading from south and up to the north. So that will definitely be something to keep an eye on there. And then as that system finally heads out, we'll start to see maybe another storm system, and again we start to see another potential squall line developing. So main threats will be squall line causing severe severe weather threats. The other threat will be heavy rainfall, mainly across portions there of the deep south. So I think the main squall line that we're watching was the one that I told you guys that was heading from Texas all the way up in the southern Indiana, and there could certainly be two squall lines with that storm system. So like I said, this will be something that we do need to keep an eye on, so make sure to keep that in mind. Now, for your total precipitation, as you can see, we actually do see quite a lot of precipitation across portions here of Indiana, Ohio, and then back into Texas. So pretty good precipitation. That's a total of 1 to as much as 5 inches of rainfall in some areas. So that's definitely going to be one area to watch for potential significant flash flooding with one of these storm systems, because that squall line could certainly dump a lot of heavy rain, and that will also be something to watch with it. And then we see some pretty good rainfall up here to the north, and that's mainly due to the total snowfall that we're going to see, which also may cause flash flooding. And then just barely along the east coast, we see about 1 to as much as 3 inches of rainfall just along the extreme east coast. So pretty much if you're on shore, that's where you have the best chance to see 1 to 3 inches. So that is definitely going to be something to keep an eye on there. And let's go ahead and look at your total snowfall now, okay? So for your total snowfall, we actually do see quite a whole lot of snowfall across portions here, of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and even a few other areas. So that will be one area that we do certainly need to watch. And then we got another area up here towards New England that is mainly across New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, and as well as Maine. We'll all need to be watching for some potential heavy snowfall too as well. What I am surprised about is that the GFS model wants to show heavier snow developing across, South Dakota, southern Minnesota, and into Wisconsin than it does show near northern Maine, because northern Maine has way higher elevations compared to these areas. These are kind of lower elevations. Some areas might even be called the plains. So yeah, so that's what I am trying to say, is that Maine probably should have a better chance for some snowfall. And let's go ahead and look at the European model now. In the European model, with the precipitation, wants to show an increased risk of flooding across the east coast. So instead of only showing 1 to 3 inches, this model wants to show about 1 to 4 inches, if not even 1 to as much as 6 inches in some areas. So definitely shows a way bigger amounts compared to the GFS model. So there's definitely a pretty significant difference right there. And it also shows more of that 1 to 3 inch range heading back towards the Ohio Valley. So there will definitely be a bigger, it sounds like the European model wants to show a lot of heavy rainfall across the east coast and the GFS model, but there could still be a decent risk for flash flooding across this area right here. And then, like I said, the total snowfall will bring quite a bit of rainfall to these areas too as well. And if we go ahead and look at your total snowfall, like I said, we actually got a little bit of agreement on some pretty good snowfall up here to the north. And as you can see, the European model actually does want to show some pretty good rainfall or snowfall across portions here of northern Maine. So like I said, I feel like Maine is actually going to have a better chance for getting extremely heavy snowfall compared to these areas. I still think we have enough agreement to say that this could still be getting 2 feet, but this area has a slightly better chance of getting 2 feet, and like I said, that's mainly because they have higher elevation. So that will be something to keep an eye on, okay? And then even back out here towards the Sierra Nevadas and the Cascades, it sounds like we're going to see an increased risk of heavy snowfall too as well. So something to keep an eye on there. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. I did forget to say that every already told precipitation and snowfall headed all the way out to March 30th. So if you were wondering about that, there you go. But make sure you guys are subscribing. It sounds like at least a few of you guys chose to subscribe again, which I do appreciate it, but I need a lot more subscribers than that. If you guys will please subscribe to my channel. Also like my videos more, like what you guys did with my tornado forecast. I'm really glad I almost got to 60 likes on that, but I need that on all my other videos, so make sure to like all my videos and also subscribe especially.